So let's actually tune in. I don't know, can you hear the dogs in the background at all? They're tuning in. So let's tune in. Let's see if I can, go ahead and bring your hands together at your heart, or the palms. Create that heat and then bring the hands into the heart center. Let's come up nice and tall. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And just take a moment and imagine a luminous light from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. And that light moving into the earth and all the way up to the cosmos, out into the heavens. And as you breathe in and breathe out, that light begins to increase. It begins to strengthen and allow all of your muscles and your bones, your physical body, to fall into perfect alignment around this light. And take a deep breath in. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And please inhale to tune in. Om. Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Big breath in, hold the breath. Press the palms, squeeze the mulaband, project out of the third eye, consolidate all of your energy. Move it into the aura. Exhale, release the breath, stay in the posture. Inhaling. Ad Gude Name, Jagad Gude Name, Sat Gude Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Ad Gude Name, Jagad Gude Name, Sat Gude Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Ad Gude Name, Jagad Gude Name, Sat Gude Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Breathing in. Hold, squeeze the mulaband. Anus, sex organs, navel point, press the palms. Project out, bringing in your higher consciousness, your higher vibrational self into your earth body. And exhale, release the breath, and Satnam and welcome. So we'll chit chat for just a little bit and then we'll get things moving. So there were a few things that were coming up throughout the week, and I always like to find some little remnants of a story to tell to kind of set things up. And what I was brought to was one of my early yoga teachers, and this was before I even became a yoga teacher or did my first training. And she was just lovely and just the most colorful energy, the most colorful soul, always having like 5 books that she's carrying with all of these different quotes and teachings, and very poetic, very devotional, and very much going into her yoga class. It just felt like a temple. And it was also new to me. Like everything was so new. And I was so in love with it. And I was so in love with her. And, you know, it would be like 50 of us in this room all trying to practice with her. And, you know, just like that energy, you just wanted to be around it. And it was soft and it was gentle and poetic. And it was this whole thing. And this was around 2003. So I want to give you a scope of like timeline because it's important here. 2003, it was when I first moved to New York City. And so we all go into her class, we go into the temple, we're prepared, we have our like yoga outfits on and the whole thing, and we're ready to chant mantra and like get into it and just like receive and sponge it up. And I cannot remember because this teaching was so powerful. I cannot remember if she actually pulled out a picture or if she just gave the teaching and I remember it as a picture, but it was essentially like she pulled out a picture of George W. Bush circa 2003, and everyone kind of, you know, was like, and she was basically like, you know, you need to be able to like look at something that makes you uncomfortable, right? You need to be able to be in a conversation with something that makes you uncomfortable. Like how do you measure that? How do you engage in that? And, you know, it went from being a really like soft, gentle, poetic moment or, you know, expectation to something that was like very, very confronting. Right. And at this time we were at war and, you know, there was no social media. I had no smartphone. I had no internet. I had no computer at that time. So it was all whatever was being projected through the field. And obviously most of the people there were, you know, not okay with this war that we were in. And it was politics, you know. So of course, everyone got triggered. She's an amazing teacher. And so for me, it was like, I knew that I wanted to teach and I knew that I wanted to go deeper into this work. So it was like, okay, I want to figure out what actually is that? You know, I'm curious about what is that? Not my relationship with this public figure, but just that thing inside of myself that doesn't want to engage or doesn't want to look somebody in the eyes, or I don't want to have that conversation, like these sorts of things. And then there is that quote from Ram Dass, I'm sure you've all heard it, which is, if you think you are so spiritually involved, like go hang out with your family. Right. And then it's like all the mirrors and all the triggers, and it's just so nuanced because it's your family. So it's like, wow, so there. And that's a great way to measure your spiritual development, right? Is like those visits, how much maybe less complicated or complex they evolve into, hopefully. So I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about this in relationship to actually like when we come into these practices, and especially yoga, and when we think of yoga, we think of the body and we think of the physical practice and whatever it is, hatha yoga, Kundalini yoga, we're using the physical body. And, you know, there's a lot of people that don't do yoga because they're not flexible. And like, that's their thing, right? They're like, oh, I don't do it, I'm not that flexible. And it's like, well, you know, that's kind of, we're all not that flexible, and that's why we're doing it. And as we do it, and as we're consistent with it, and we have these little containers where we go a little bit deeper, we receive a little more insight into our limitations and how to overcome them, right? We become a bit more flexible, even if we're not the most flexible person in the room. Our perception of what flexibility starts to shift, it starts to change. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this relationship between the flexibility of the body and the flexibility of the mind, because we have two in front of me, at least, and the third one in the chat, flexible mind gymnasts, Lauren and Karma. They're both Geminis, and Abby is also a Gemini. And so Gemini is this, like, there's a lot happening in the mind, right? There's like quite a bit going on there. And there's a capacity with Gemini. And of course, we all have polarities to everything, right? But there is this really profound, and we all have Gemini somewhere in our chart, and the Gemini new moon is coming up. There is a profound capacity to collect a lot of different information, right? And to understand different sort of sides of the coin, or different sides of the conversation, or right, and even if we don't necessarily believe in all sides, we can at least, like, Gemini has an energy to it that's a bit more, I would say, like less emotional. There are other aspects that make you emotional, but it's like more scientific, right? It's like, let me see, like, what are the facts and the things, so we can kind of observe all of it. So back to yoga, right? When we're practicing whatever we practice, we're creating more energy in the system. We're becoming more flexible in the body. It's correlating to a deeper sense of flexibility in the mind, right? A capacity to use the mind in more beneficial ways, to make beneficial choices, perhaps, to see ourselves a bit more clearly, right? That's svadhyaya. And then we have the veil of illusion, right? The avidya. So we're constantly in the veil of sort of our own perspective. But when we get enough energy in the body, and this comes from the Yoga Sutras, which is, we all have that veil of illusion. We all have our own veil of perspective. But when we work with pranayama, right, that is the magic thing that lifts the veil. And now we have a new perspective, right? We have a new way of seeing either us, or seeing something outside of us, or seeing something that is really confronting and triggering. So when we create this energetic experience and this opening, right, there's this phrase that's used in Kundalini teachings, which is understanding your own altitude. And it took me a while to really get it. It feels very poetic, and it feels very like, wow, that's, great. Give me altitude. And as I was meditating on this, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. If there's enough energy, right? If there's enough energy in the system, if the body is aligned, if we're starting to get a bit healthier and, come into a more higher state of consciousness, it's just perspective, right? The altitude is just perspective, that consciousness that we are raising to, or that vibration that is raising, it's just consciousness perspective. So you can imagine, you're on flat ground, you're only able to see whatever is kind of directly in front of you, and you're looking to the sides. That's it, that's your environment, right? But then your altitude shifts, right, when you go up the hill, when you go up the mountain, when you go somewhere where you're able to really see out. And that's essentially what is or can happen through these practices, and through the devotion and the commitment, right, to maintaining some sort of yogic practice. So in the nature of peace, right, which is something that I think we're all working towards within ourselves, and working on that within our environments. And, I was looking into the history of the Iroquois Nation, which is a Native American tribe, right, in the northern eastern part of the United States and into Canada. And I was looking at the way that they basically founded democracy. And they have a very beautiful system that our system is slightly based upon for decision making and solving larger issues in community. And it all comes from woman, by the way. It's all matriarchal. So everything is coming from woman. And then the woman is assigning these different roles to primarily men to converse and to have these exchanges. And one of the chiefs is the peace chief. And the sort of title, or like the underscore title of like the peace chief and what that role is, it's a role of diplomacy, and it's a role of exchange. And so to be able to have diplomacy, or to be able to trade, it was more of trade, right? Because that was also a time where the environment was very harsh, and like, right, you needed to trade things in order to survive, right? Like really harsh winters, starvation, this sort of thing. So you had people that were in control of those negotiations. And that sort of, when we think of peace, I think a lot of times we think of ourselves as being really removed, right? And you can find peace that way. You can go into isolation and not maybe be as confronted or around people that, you know, you don't necessarily want to be around, you can find peace that way. A lot of times we think of peace and we just think of meditation. There's that image, right, of just, you know, sure, like that is peace as well. But what is it to have peace in a room full of people where you don't share the same perspective, right? And how do we then create dialogue and diplomacy and trade of ideas and trade of information? So this all comes back, of course, because I'm a yoga teacher, it all comes back to yoga. And it all comes back to, you know, being rooted in the practice and understanding that, yeah, if I might not agree with you, I might not even like you. And that's okay. You know, that's okay. I mean, I wish that I could like that being or love that being or whatever it is. You might not get there on your path this time around, but to be able to maintain, right, a state of flexibility of the mind, right, is really holding a very compassionate heart center, right? It's not about taking your values and saying that that's not what you believe in anymore, your belief systems, your culture, any other teachings that you've received in the world, you know, that you hold true to your heart. It's not about like putting any of that away or shunning that or stripping yourself of that. It's about really standing in that truth and being able to dialogue, communicate from that truth. And so that brings us into transparency to a certain extent, right? Because we've worked with like confrontation. What is confrontation? Being confronted? What is integrity? And then what is transparency? And transparency for the sake of creating a more peaceful dialogue. And so another example, somebody wrote on, you know, I have this great content wall of Facebook messages from people here on this island, and somebody was really emotional and upset, and she was just like, yoga teachers, tantra teachers, healers, everyone, you all need to get trauma informed. You just need to do it. You shouldn't be doing what you're doing, blah, 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 you know. And it was just like, whoa, 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 okay, long post, you know. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, let me sit in this, let me see like what she's saying. And like, you know, let's look at the Gemini, both sides of the coin of like what's happening. On one hand, yeah, of course, like let's all get trauma informed, you know, like let's have some information because that's a hot topic, at least here in this environment. It's not a bad idea. On the other side of it, right, if you're a new teacher, what you're coming up against in her particular energy field was that you're actually not worthy of teaching, right? You're not worthy of teaching because you don't know. And it's like, well, none of us know. That's why we're teaching, right? And that's why you flock to a teacher that has a certain level of experience, and, you know, and then you understand how to encounter those that have less experience, if that's something you want to do. So in the sake of peace, and what is peace? If peace is diplomacy and trade, then peace is really about finding solutions. Like that's what it is. It's not about me winning my fight. It's how do we figure out a solution? Like, what is the solution? Right. And I didn't write this back because I've just been like chewing on this, but my recommendation would be to address all of the new teachers and say, and in the meantime, while you're figuring out how to fit trauma-informed therapies into being a yoga teacher, which, by the way, none of that exists in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. None of that is in the Yoga Sutras. That's a whole other conversation about whitewashing and appropriating a tradition that doesn't have anything to do with your psychotherapy situation. That's not who I am. I didn't sign up to do that, right? I signed up to teach a technique. But in the meantime, while we're all figuring that out, why don't we just offer transparency to our students and say, hey, I'm a new teacher. You know, I just graduated from my 200-hour program, and this is what I know how to do. Let's create a safe space. If you don't feel safe in this, then I totally respect it, but I'm here today to do this work. And that's what I would do whenever anyone that was pregnant would come to my yoga classes, because I've, one, never had a baby, and two, I have like 10 hours in like 2004 of you know, prenatal yoga training, which is nothing, right? This is nothing. So it's being very clear, like, this is where I am, this is where you are, let's have an exchange, let's have a dialogue for the sake of creating a safe environment, a good solution for us both, so we don't traumatize each other and stigmatize each other and this sort of thing. Sound good? Okay, so for the sake of peace, we're working on developing center, integrity, and that neutral mind, right? And anything, you're still welcome to be emotional and feelings and judgments and all of these things, but then ultimately, right, we want to cycle through that and just try to get that higher altitude and perspective so we can see what is actually happening in humanity right now, like what is going on and how do I fit into the fabric of that weaving, right? How, like, what thread am I, and how can I move that through the fabric, and can I, right, like, send some peace through those decisions and those choices? Can I create some good solutions, at least for those that are around me, and then maybe, right, that can move out into this wild world that we're living in right now. So thank you for being here. Come on to all fours and let's get into some cat-cow. Let's go ahead and bring the knees underneath the hips. The sides of the feet are touching. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. You're going to inhale, lift the hips and the heart. Exhale, round the spine. You're going to mentally vibrate Sat, Nam, Sat on the inhale, Nam on the exhale. Keep the eyes closed and the gaze at the third eye point. This is going to help us to clear out all of the things that we've been taking in through sight, through sound. This is going to help us get that pituitary pineal rhythm linked up to the higher vibration of the cosmos, the cosmic rhythm. The rhythm of the cosmos, the rhythm of nature, the rhythm of pure potentiality, pure Kundalini Shakti, the power of creation. Let it be a powerful breath, powerful movement. And we're moving all of this extraneous energy through the body, so we can think of that organizational system that takes place through the practice, right? Bringing all of the scattered antenna energy into one consolidated, powerful, rhythmic place. About 1 more minute left here. More seconds here. Keep going. Keep moving that mantra through the third eye point. Feel the flexibility of the body, the spine coming to life, coming to light. Creating so much flexibility that nothing gets stuck on us, nothing lands too hard, too heavy. Heart stays open. The mind stays balanced. As you breathe in, lift the tailbone and the heart to the sky. Take a deep inhale, squeeze a bit through the bottom of the spine. Exhale, round the spine. Now press the navel point to the back body and now squeeze Mula Bandha here. Inhale and exhale, come into a child's pose. Bring your arms out in front of you. Bring the palms to touch, the fingers pointing forward. And bringing the forehead into the earth, you're bringing the mind into the magnetic field of the earth. So this can be very calming, very centering for all of those whirling thoughts. This is the season, right? This is the season of many thoughts, lots of thinking. We want to find that rooting through the breath, through the earth. Inhaling. Exhale, stay for another round of breath and just extend your prayer, your offering for you and for others. Let's take a deep inhale and exhale, and then come up and come forward into easy seat. So just nice, easy, tall seat. Let's do ego eradicator. So let's bring the fingers into the pads of the hands. You can bring the thumbs above the head and then open the arms to about 90. Close the eyes, bring the gaze into the third eye, breath of fire. Use the navel point to really pump the breath. Keep the gaze at the third eye. Powerful breath, powerful mantra, Sat Nam, into the third eye point. And we're flooding the body with a lot of energy, right? The prana is an energy field, an energy source. So we're flooding the whole system right now. Removing toxins, removing density. Do the best you can, and now just bring your internal focus to the crown chakra and the space in between the thumbs. So you're clearing out this 10th gate, which is really where all of the stuff comes in, all of the thoughts, other people's thoughts, all of the projections coming in to the psyche, all of our thoughts. And you're gonna just work to purify this, to bring a little more light, becoming more strengthened, more centered, so that we can radiate a sense of transparency and confidence of who we are in this moment. Keep going, you're almost there. Less than 1 minute. Keep the elbows straight. Bring a bit of a warrior-like attitude to what you're doing here. Participate fully in removing any fear, removing any feelings of scarcity. Become light, strengthened light consciousness, powerful light beings, powerful bodies, powerful consciousness, the ability to find solutions. Inhale, the thumbs touch above the head, point the fingers to the sky, hold the breath, squeeze the base of the spine, project the energy up the spine, out through the fingerprints towards the heart of the cosmos. That we can align the heart of humanity with the heart of the center of the stars. Exhale, slowly reach your arms out wide and brush your fingers through your aura, purifying the field around you, feeling it strengthen and grow. Touch the earth with your fingertips. Find a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bring your hands onto your knees and start spinal flexing. Inhale the heart forward, exhale round back. Keep the chin fairly steady. Gaze is at the third eye. You're inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. The rhythm is dependent on your breath. So if you need to go a little slower, you go a little slower. If you can go quicker, but let the breath match the movement. Let the breath be powerful. Wake up the spine. One more minute here. Inhaling, come up nice and tall, squeeze the base of the spine, bring the energy up into the third eye. And exhale, release the breath, come onto your shins and do spinal flex on the shins. So come to sit on the heels of the feet, inhale heart forward, exhale back. We're not here for as long. We're gonna go through a few more warm-ups and then we're gonna get into our main Kriya. Beautiful. Inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. Inhale, come up nice and tall, squeeze the base of the spine. And exhale, release. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Okay, let's do some fists of anger. Let's bring the thumbs to touch the pinky mound, wrap the fingers around. You can stay on your heels or you can come to easy seat. Do whichever one feels better for you. We're gonna backstroke the arms. The arms are gonna stay lifted. They don't touch your legs. Open the mouth, O mouth breath. We're inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. Keep going at your pace, your rhythm, your breath. This is a lot of energy moving through the system right now. You're going to start to drop into your anger, and you're going to start to make yourself really angry and move that emotion through the posture and through the breath. So whatever it is, it can be big, it can be the tiniest little thing that you would never allow yourself to get angry about. It could be something huge that feels out of your control. It feels overwhelming. Move it through your system and go for it. Chase it, punch it, fight it, bite it, tear it to pieces, annihilate it, become a nihilist here. Get angry, drop into it. More seconds here. Move all of that anger through your system. Last chance, really see it, fight it, get in there. Inhaling, interlace your hands, invert the palms above the head, reach up, hold the breath, squeeze the spine, go into compassion, go into light, go into love. Keep the arms up, open the mouth, cannon fire the breath out. Take another breath in, your hands are interlaced and you're reaching the inverted palms up to the sky. Squeeze the spine, bring the energy up, and imagine you're sitting in the center of a star, growing your light, growing your love. Keep the arms up, open the mouth, cannon fire the breath out. One more time, inhale deep, squeeze the base of the spine, reach through your arms. Increase your aura, increase peace from within you, all around you. And exhale, release. You can reach your fingers out wide again, brush through the aura, touch your fingers to the ground, take an inhale and an exhale. And just stay here, connecting to your breath. Keep the gaze at the third eye, and I want you to just notice how you feel, the energy that is flowing through you. Just taking a moment to measure the practice, to measure the results of the practice and what it feels like to flush the body with so much prana and movement, what it feels to be taking place in the mind, your connection to your heart. Breathe in deep and breathe out. Okay. Very good. So that was not very much time, and a lot happens in this practice with not very much time. So we're going to be doing a few different rounds of Sat Kriya, and it's incorporated into like a longer, say, sequence of postures. So the hand position for Sat Kriya is to, and I'm just going to show you first, interlace the fingers, and you're going to bring your left thumb over the right for femme identifying, and then it would be opposite for any men. And we're going to reach the arms above the head, right? Usually you're sitting on the heels of the feet, so you would be on your shins. But if you feel better, if you're not able to sit on your shins, you can do this in cross-legged seat. And then we're going to play a song, so we'll hear it, and it's Sat Nam, right? And so as I'm chanting Sat, I'm drawing in, and Nam, I'm letting everything kind of fall out. Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam. I'm not engaging Mulaband on that Sat. I'm just contracting the lower belly and the nerve plexuses behind that center. So come to your seat if you want to be on your heels. That's the recommendation. If you're not able to, you're not able to. And we're going to be going into Sat Kriya, we're going to come out rest, we're going to go back into it. So I'm going to play a track so you have something to work with while we move in and out. And you will just find it. When you find it, I know there's going to be a little bit of a delay. So we're just going to play this song the whole time. So go ahead and bring your arms into position. There's a little bit of an intro. Interlace the fingers, point the fingers above the head. Just do long, deep breathing for now. Gaze is at your third eye. We're centering into a uplifting shape and begin. Chant the mantra out loud through the mouth. Use the tongue. Sat, you're contracting. Nam, you're releasing. This posture helps us to ground our visions and to bring us out of the lower chakras, balanced with the higher vibrational field, creating some neutrality. Do the best you can here. This is a posture that will help you hold more in life, holding the tasks, the responsibilities, all of the things on the to-do list, the checklist. It helps us to hold neutrality. Inhale deep, squeeze the base of the spine, bring the energy out through the fingerprints all the way up the spine. Exhale, release, and please come onto your back, come and lay down, and we're going to relax for a few minutes. Take a moment. Breathe in deep and breathe out. Bring your knees into your chest, come all the way up, and we're coming back into Sat Kriya, a little bit shorter this time. The faster you get there, the faster it's over. Bring your arms up to the sky, and when you're tuned into the mantra, just start it. Sat Kriya once again. Use the navel to really move the energy of the third chakra up the spine. Gazes at the third eye, reach through the fingers. Inhale deep, hold the breath, squeeze the spine, project out of your fingers. Exhale, release, and again, come lay down onto your back. Come to rest, short rest here. Inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. This set is going to move a lot of energy through your system. So think of clearing, clearing ourselves from any weight, any entanglement, creating a lot of space for that higher frequency to move through. To open and to also ground. And take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And then you can bring your knees into your chest. You're gonna come onto all fours, come to down dog. So triangle pose, as we call it in Kundalini yoga, as we're learning. Come to your down dog. Feel free to give a little bit of pedaling through, just a little bit of movement. Just feel your legs. And then you're gonna walk your hands to your legs. So you're gonna come and fold over the legs for a moment. We're just doing a little transition. Very good. Very good. Just take a breath there. Yeah, you can hold opposite arms. Just take a moment, let your spine find some sweetness there, some freedom. Yeah. Good. And then touch all 10 fingers to the floor. And let's bring the heels of the feet to touch and then come up onto the toes. So the heels lift up off of the sky. Good. And your inhaling legs are straight. And as you exhale, you're bringing your seat onto the heels and looking up to the ceiling. So inhale, straight legs, heels are lifted. Exhale, seat comes down. Inhale, sat. Exhale, nam. Frog pose. Keep it going. We're not here for very long. Mantra is helpful. Let it be a powerful breath. Inhaling sat, exhaling nam. And make sure to, look up to the sky so you're really opening the throat. The eyes can stay closed or you can open them if you need to. About 30 more seconds. That's it. Good. Inhale, lift the seat towards the sky and just fold into the legs. You can open the feet up about hip width. Just take a moment, relax here deeply. Inhaling and exhaling. Connecting to your breath. All right, you're gonna come down onto your shins, Sat Kriya. You're gonna interlace the fingers, point the index finger across the left thumb over the right. Inhaling, Sat Nam, Sat Nam. We're not here for quite as long. We're going to start to move through Sat Kriya and Frog Pose, our two probably least favorite, but it's good for us. Let's see what happens. Let's feel it. Use your belly. Inhale deep, squeeze the base of the spine, bring the energy up through the fingerprints. Exhale, release, relax, come again, lie on your back just for 1 minute, come on down. Continue to just relax, find some peace here and some ease. We're going to be moving through Sat Kriya and frog pose. There won't be resting in between, but I don't want you to feel like you have to rush. So we want to have smooth transitions, peaceful transitions. Take another deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And you're going to slowly bring your legs into your chest. You're going to come up and over, and we're going to do frog pose, and you're just doing 10 of them. You're going to do 10. Inhale, seat is up. Exhale is down. Inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. When you finish your 10, just forward fold over the legs. Just take a moment. And then you're going to transition. You're coming back into Sat Kriya. So find the mantra, interlace the fingers. Cross the thumb, get it going. Inhale deep, take a deep breath in, squeeze the base of the spine. And exhale, let it go. You're coming back into frogs. You're going to do 15 repetitions of frog pose. Inhale, seat is up, exhale down. Fingers are pressing into the ground, so you're getting all of the planetary points in the pads of the fingers, working with the brain. And just do the best you can. When you finish those 15, you'll just fold over the legs for just a moment. There's no rush here. Keep going. And then you're going to come back into Sat Kriya. So you'll come back onto the shins. Take the mudra with the hands, reach up towards the cosmos, begin chanting. Drawing the navel point in as you chant Sat, releasing the navel point as you chant Nam. Take a deep breath in, squeeze the spine, hold, consolidate, project. Exhale, let it go. Last set of frogs, 10 frogs, please. You can do it. Shaky legs and all, I know. So it's just 10. Once you're done, you're just folding over the legs. Take a few rounds of breath. And then we're coming back into Sat Kriya one last time. Come on down, find the mudra. Let it be like an arrow, just piercing through all of the veils of illusion. Find the mantra. Keep going, keep chanting. Do it out loud. Inhaling, you're going to hold here, squeeze the base of the spine, hold, concentrate, project out of the fingerprints, out of the third eye. You're going to keep the arms, exhale the breath out, and just hold the breath out and squeeze Mulaband. Squeeze the Mulaband, squeeze the Mulaband. And relax, come down onto your backs, please. Use anything if you need a little padding to make it more comfortable for you. Inhale, Sat, exhale, Nam, and just allow your body to ride the waves of your own creation. Go into a deep, receptive rest. Take a deep breath in, please. And a deep breath out. We can move a bit through the fingers and toes. You can rub your soles of the feet and the hands together. You can take a moment to come out. And then when you're ready, you're going to come up into a tall seat. We're going to do a little meditation. So just set yourself up. If you have to go, you have to go. No worries. Okay. And so just easy, comfortable seat, whatever that seat is for you. We're not chanting anything now, but we are going to be doing an 8-part breath. So internally, you'll be chanting. It's going to be 8 inhales, 8 exhales. So, and then 8 on the way out. So you can do satanama, 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 satanama. Just a nice, you'll find your pacing for this breath, but it's silent meditation or silent mantra rather. And we're going to bring again the pads of the fingers, right, into the palms, and then the thumb tips are going to touch, and we're going to bring this like just in front of the lip, and the gaze is at the third eye space. And then you're going to find this 8-part breath. So inhaling for 8 parts and exhaling for 8 parts. And you can mentally vibrate satanama to help you count the breath pattern. And just take a moment to get settled in. And keep the elbows relaxed. Now you're going to focus your gaze where the thumbs are touching. So you're going to just open your eyes slightly, looking at the thumbs touching, bringing that sense of balance to the brain. Keep the breath going, inhaling for 8, exhaling for 8. Concentrate on the rhythm of the breath. a deep breath in, a long breath in, hold, squeeze the mulaband, press the tips of the thumbs, and exhale. Just release the breath, release your hands down. Just take a moment in meditation again, just noticing what you're arriving to. And I'm just going to share a few comments about that meditation. This meditation is called the Liberated Heart Meditation for Equanimity, Steadfastness, and also Immunity. So the tips of the thumbs touch to form the arched look of the swan's neck. This represents inner grace and the dominance of the neutral mind and the sattva guna. You observe all that happens with no anger or enmity. The absence of these reactions make all the energy of prana available to the direction of the mind. The mind has joined with its prana, concentrating on the rhythm of the breath. The 8-8 rhythm will work on the connection between the heart chakra and the immune system. The hand position will give you strength. This is not a beginner's meditation. It should be practiced with respect, and the time should be increased slowly as your nerves adjust to the psychosomatic changes the meditation initiates. Let's bring the hands together at the heart, rub the palms. And bring the prayer into the heart center. Taking a moment, feeling into you, feeling into your radiance, your stability, your integrity, your transparency. Feeling the balance of the mind, the openness of the heart. Breathe in deep and breathe out. May the long-time sun shine upon you and all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Inhale. Sa. Nam. Satnam, Namaste, Shanti, Shalom, Pash, peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Thank you for a beautiful practice.